All right, right about there. Okay, here we go. Are we live? I think we're live. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Forget that previous broadcast with the wrong name because my guest name is correct. And what is it, my friend? What is it?
Ray Canzanese.
And you're with what company?
I'm with Netskope.
All right. And everybody, welcome back to RVAsec. I'm so tired, Ray. 2022. Now, you gave a lecture here.
I did.
And we had a lot of good speakers.
We did, absolutely.
What was your lecture about?
So we were talking about malware. We were talking about where it's coming from and what we should be doing about it.
All right.
Not like who writes it, but like what are people who are downloading malware, like what are they going to on the internet?
Right.
What are they clicking on that gets them into these bad situations?
Well, I'm glad people don't look at my internet browser. But having said that, nowadays, it's not because you went to a bad site necessarily.
Right,
Some
exactly.
of it's just like went to a fake site or a parallel site. Tell us why this is happening. It's a great scam, isn't it? Because there's virtually no chance of the bad guy getting caught.
Yeah, so what we did in this lecture, right, we talked about what we've seen so far this year. So just starting in January. And one of the weirdest things we saw was we had about 20% of all the malware downloads referred from search engines. Right, so that was people clicking on links in Google and Bing and Baidu and DuckDuckGo and taking them directly to download malicious PDFs.
So that's called, let me see if I get this right, domain hijacking.
Not domain hijacking.
Well,
no.
not domain, it's not the right way to say it, but I've heard about it where they actually register a domain and it all looks legit, but the whole purpose of the domain is to snag you.
Right, yeah. So what's happening here is they've actually just gotten really good at SEO. And so they've figured out how to write these PDFs really specific. So you make a fake manual for a product.
Yeah.
Right? And you post that on the internet. You usually hijack a website or upload it to a free hosting service. We found lots of it on like S3, lots of it on Weebly, free website hosting. And then that gets indexed. And because it's so specific, if you Google those terms, you're going to get that PDF.
Hey, why don't you guys do it for goodness and niceness and index my website so I go to the top? I mean, they're really smart about it, aren't they? They're very good at it.
Right, yeah. That's the thing, right? You just get so specific that there's very little competition for those search terms.
Pops to the top.
And it pops to the top.
They're probably not even paying for those clicks, are they?
They are probably not even paying for those clicks. And they're doing all the stuff you should do, too, right? You go to those SEO courses and you say, you have to have lots of links. And so they'll actually, at the bottom of those PDFs, put a bunch of links to a bunch of malicious PDFs. So like you find one, you start finding this entire web of all of these malicious PDFs out there.
Well, and not on the dark web either. It's all open now.
All open,
all right. What's their end game? Are they trying to, attach a bunch of machines for a denial of service attack? Are they Bitcoin mining? What are they doing?
So it seems like they're doing a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay.
So when we first saw it, it was all phishing. And we said, this is a clever new way to do phishing.
Right.
Then we started seeing scams. Then we started seeing additional malware downloads. And so it really just became this vehicle that I think once they figured it out and figured out, we can just scrape manuals, create fake PDFs, and link to stuff, we'll find somebody in the dark web who will pay us to link to their stuff.
How much is connected to phones? And I read about this, and it's happened to me. I'm getting phone calls. They sound super legit. They scraped another convention site I'm going to.
Right.
Got my number. Oh, we're calling about your hotel. We want to confirm your reservation. I'm going, I don't know about that. And I've heard if you, push number one or something, it connects you to some modem, and they can almost take over your phone now. There's some really crazy scams going on out there.
Yeah, so I'm not a mobile expert, so I don't think I can weigh in on what's going on that front.
So have you seen this go up? Is this all because post-COVID and people are bored or what?
Yeah, so this, I don't know if it's post-COVID or people are bored or what, but around November last year is when this really started increasing. Because we'd always seen a little bit of it. Right. And we always thought, this is bad, right? We got to make sure people aren't doing this. We have to work to get them taken down. And then, we're detecting 4.5x as much of this as we were this time last year, which is an unheard of increase, right? We're usually talking about 10% increase.
Right. Who are bad actors here? Is it state stuff? Is it those Russian, what's that place in Russia where they come to work every day and screw with America? You know what I'm talking about, that place.
So
it's a business out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this stuff doesn't look to be anything state sponsored. We haven't seen anything state connected here.
Wow.
This looks just like commodity. Let's try to reach people. Of course, some state actor could always see
Sure.
that it's successful and try it and target it towards somebody, right? It would be pretty sophisticated, right, to find a product somebody's using,
right,
create a fake manual for it, put it on the internet, and try to get them to click on that. But
although,
it's just
big company that starts with a G, stop listening, okay? Because I'll talk to my wife about some obscure thing, and 2 minutes later it pops up on my phone. Never searched it before in my life, and it pops up there. So that stuff's going on by the good guys, right? So, or maybe we're all doomed. I'm not really sure.
Right, and that's a good point, because what I think what's happening is that attackers have gotten very good at the kind of marketing that people do for benign purposes.
That's what they're doing. They're marketing.
And so it's becoming very difficult for you to train people to basically be like, yes, just be immune to marketing, and therefore you'll be immune to the types of marketing and types of fake urgency and needs that threat actors and attackers create.
Well, the bank ones, my wife once in a while almost falls for the banker email from Wells Fargo that looks really, really good, but it's not, right?
Right.
And that's an excellent point. I've never heard anybody describe it that way, but they are becoming marketing experts.
Yes. And I mean,
they're selling malware.
The bank's a good example. Last time I went into the bank, the teller said to me, there's a QR code down there on the table. Just scan that and start entering all your personal information in there, right?
Oh my God.
And so, like, how hard would it be, right, for somebody to convince somebody else to do that with a different QR code pasted over the first one, right? And so it's really hard, right, to train people to differentiate.
Well, that's what they do at gas
stuff,
stations
right?
now, where they have skimming devices, and they put a cover over a gas station pump, and you put your card in, and you think it's going to the shell, and it's not going to shell.
Right.
I mean, this is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I long for the days of my home savings account, little book that they wrote in manually. Couldn't hack that, could you? You could know how much was in your bank.
Back in those days, right, people were going through trash, right? And they were trying to find those old checks and get those account numbers. So you could hack it, right? It just required physical proximity, which is no longer a requirement.
All this stuff's been around a long time. It's just that we are more aware of it because it's right there on our phone, and people are getting sophisticated. And I guess if you don't want to be a barista anymore and you have some computer skills, you come up with a new profession or something. It's bizarre.
Right. And the weird thing is we've seen a lot of people do this as like a side hustle.
Side job.
Like we've and they're never particularly good at it, which is how we find out who they are and that they have a real job somewhere else. But it's like, hey, I've heard I can make a fast buck by running some scams on the side or running a phishing campaign. And it's all toolkits. It's all commodity, right? You can just go
buy it. Yeah, buy a kit and be your own entrepreneur. Exactly. So put a chart in my head about where this is going. Is it exponentially increasing? Is there some kind of new trend on this?
So this was like a step function. So it was just like it was at a certain level, and then it shot up, and it's kaboom, and it's been there, and it's been staying there.
Wow.
No matter how aggressively we've worked with Microsoft and Google and the hosting providers, we're taking them down, but they're coming right back up as quickly as we're taking them down.
Well, I'm almost ready to retire. I'm technically retired. I do this for fun on the side, right? I can't wait to unplug it because I'm going to do it one day.
Yeah.
And you'll have to come find me at the beach. Physically go there to hack me because I'm not going to be connected to anything pretty soon. Good to meet you, my friend.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice lecture. Well. And I wonder if that's going to be online anywhere, your lecture. Did they film it?
I'm not sure.
I'll have to ask Jake. See, that's a cool lecture for everybody to dial into. All right, back in a minute here at RVAsec 2022, securityguydetv.com. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.